Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Self-Helpless. I'm Kelsey Cook.
I'm Delaney Fisher.
And I'm Taylor Tomlinson.
And today our main topic is something that was voted upon.
Yes, on the Patreon. The Helpster's choice this month is insecurity. So we'll be talking about all of our internal insecurities. We did an episode on self-image, and I think that sparked some conversation among our listeners. And yeah, we're ready. Hopefully we have enough time to get it all in.
I know.
Like a laundry list of what I'm insecure about.
Self-image was more physical, right?
Yeah, that was more, like our, external stuff and appearance. But this is the deep shit.
This is the
innards.
Shit you cannot
innards.
fit the innards.
It's almost Thanksgiving.
It's all the stuff you can't fix with a cream.
Yeah, there we go. Oh man, I wish. Wouldn't that be nice?
Mm-hmm. Do we have
It would be great to have an insecurity cream.
Oh.
Like anytime you're feeling kind
should
of
make
jealous,
that.
you're just like, and then you're like, oh,
Salve.
I
Yeah.
feel way better. So confident.
They call that whipped cream, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Heyo.
Drown your sorrows, people.
Pun City
Oh,
over
that sounds
here. God, I
good.
love your puns. Oh, the other day,
I'm
Delaney and
gross.
I got lost on our way to a meeting, and Delaney walked in and was like, it's like the blonde leading the blonde. And I was like, man, I love you
so
so
funny.
much. Wow, do I love you. Okay,
welcome.
so we are going to do a quick shout out to our sponsor again, our
Yeah.
ongoing sponsor lately. We are sponsored by BetterHelp.com, which is an amazing professional and affordable counseling app. It's where you can start communicating with a therapist in under 24 hours from your phone. You don't need to go to an office. You just start talking to somebody. It's great. You must be 18 or older to do it. You can sign up at betterhelp.com/selfhelpless.
Perfect for anybody hitting rock bottom in a hotel room right now.
Hey, we're
Anybody
talking to
else?
you.
Can I get a witness?
Or is anybody who just feels good and wants a little bit of extra inspiration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but mostly that first person.
If you are down.
Am I projecting? A
got
little
help.
bit.
There's financial aid available, which is great. You can send messages 24/7, 365. It's awesome. So if you're interested, betterhelp.com/selfhelpless.
Yeah.
Check her out.
Yeah.
Should we get into a
excited.
quotable?
Let's do it.
Do
Found
it.
a great Taylor is sick and she's having to dig so deep that it's almost like too deep, and I'm starting to fear
She's
her.
overcompensating.
She's kind of like a goblin right now, and it's like a
I
self-help.
cut my finger.
She looks like a mess. I mean, she's always beautiful, but she looks a mess.
She's literally
And I was like,
bleeding.
Taylor, should we reschedule? And she's like, no, we're doing this.
We're doing it.
We had meetings all day,
She's
you guys.
bleeding, and she's
Only
made
a little
herself
bit.
a DIY Band-Aid from
is that
old
a fucking
Kleenex.
straw wrapper? Where did you find
It's
that?
a piece of toilet paper.
Wow, you
She
guys.
she walks in. I cut myself. I don't even know how. I'm like, okay, should we not do this?
I changed my shoes in my car, and I came back inside, and I was bleeding.
Okay.
It's
well,
been a day
just
for
so
We had
our
a really
listeners
long
know,
day.
this is how committed we are to you. We
Oh
are
my God,
bloodied
yeah.
and sick, but you know what? We will give you some fucking content.
Oh,
So,
Yes,
Yeah.
we will.
here we are. So we looked at some insecurity quotes. This is the one that stood out most to us. This is from the lovely Adele. She says, "I have insecurities, of course, but I don't hang out with anyone who points them out to me."
Oh,
Yeah.
soak it in.
Yes. Yes.
Photosynthesize
yes.
that quote.
Yes. It also relates to that other quote we love, that's you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you. Don't keep dicks around. Get them out.
Right.
Get the fuck out of there,
Get
man.
the dicks out of there, dude.
Yes.
There's no time for dicks. There's so
Dick
many great
exorcism.
people. Yeah.
Dexorcism.
Yeah.
That was elite.
Yeah, that was okay.
That was
I loved it.
Thanks.
Not as good as Blonde Lady the Blonde. No.
Whoa. All right.
Jesus.
Everybody's
okay.
on edge today.
We're all very proud of our puns. But yeah, there's so many good people out there. There's why waste your time with shitbags? There's just no
Yeah.
reason to do that. And that's the thing, is like, even if your family are those shitbags, I'm not saying that personally. I'm just saying a lot of people write in saying my family are the ones that always cause me so many issues. You get to pick your family now. Like, that's the nice thing about being an adult. You get to pick your family with your friends. And those are the
Yeah.
people that you get to hang out with and choose to hang out with. I know we all got to deal with, family stuff, but
Yeah, you can generally, I think, as you get older, control what amount of family time you spend and like what amount of communication you have with certain people in your family that maybe rub you the wrong way.
Right.
So
absolutely.
yeah.
The second anybody points something out to me, I'm like, you're done. You're
Yeah,
dead.
dead
You're
to
dead to
me.
me. That seriously did happen though with some people where, I've talked about this, but after like my first late night set, people said some shitty stuff. Like, not people, like really just like one or two people that I thought I was friends with. And I was like, oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
make I don't have to be around these people anymore if I don't want to. Like,
Right.
these are my
100%.
choices.
And I had the exact same fucking experience.
Yes.
There are 1 or 2 people who it just takes a couple people to say something shitty to make you feel horrible about yourself. And you're like, wow, I can choose to never speak to you again.
Yeah.
Can I talk about a dream I had?
Of
the other night?
course.
Sure.
I know it sounds crazy.
Loopy
Because
doo
I'm
over
saying-
here.
No, okay, so
Half a Benadryl.
Whack-a-doodle.
so everybody knows that I have very vivid nightmares.
Yes.
So this one was a very vivid dream. It was a bad dream, but I handled something very well in it, and it felt so real that in the
Oh.
dream I thought, I can't wait to tell Kelsey and Delaney about this because I'm so proud of myself. I had a dream I was performing on a cruise ship, already a nightmare, and afterward 2 people came up to me. This older man came up to me and he was like, that was horrible. Like, you are a raunchy, filthy comedian.
What?
And that was
Oh, I know where that's
disgusting.
coming from.
I know. Well, what? But what though?
Yeah.
You're a raunchy, filthy comedian. And in the dream, it hurt. And then I just said, you know what? No, I'm not bad just because you didn't like it. You're entitled to your opinion, but it's
Yeah.
subjective, and just because it wasn't your personal taste doesn't make me a bad comedian. Like, I'm a very good comedian.
Yeah.
And in the dream, I was like,
Taylor.
Yeah,
I know,
seriously.
right? Where's that
Fantasy
bitch
Taylor
been all
is
my life?
crushing, Yeah.
Yeah, but in the dream, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk to Kelsey and Delaney about this. Because it reminded me of you speaking to that woman in the airport where you're like, hey, don't be rude. There's no reason for that. I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
I didn't do
definitely-
anything to you.
Yeah.
No reason for you to be a bitch to me.
You're
It was
working
fine.
some shit out subconsciously.
Wow.
You're really
Yeah.
getting deep there.
Yeah.
Love that. Good job.
Yeah, great. Thank
Yeah,
you
because
so
that's
much.
definitely not how you feel about yourself.
No,
You're like not raunchy at all on stage.
I don't think so. But then, I don't know. Sometimes on the road, I hear myself and I go, you're swearing a lot now. But it's fun.
It's so subjective.
Yeah.
Like, truly, I've really tried to let go of that idea of like some sort of filth label.
Yeah.
Some
Yes,
sort of
totally.
level of filth. It's like, God, it is so fucking subjective from one person to the next, from
Totally.
one comedy club to the next. It's just, you can't get too wrapped up in it.
Yeah, I had my
Absolutely.
feature tell me that like an older couple walked out of one of my shows in San Jose, like 10 minutes into my set, and she was like, yeah, but it's probably just, they had heard our sets too, and it was just dirtier than they thought it was going to be. And I was like, yeah. She's like, I think it was somebody's parents, like, being religious. And it still taps into that deep part of me that doesn't want to disappoint anyone and feels like it's my own parents walking out of the show.
Oh, that's tough.
But we gotta let go of all that.
Really
And by
have
we,
to.
I mean me and Dream Taylor together.
You know what's so funny? Mo Mandel, I just watched Mo Mandel, who's a great comedian. We had him on our show.
Yeah.
He did a joke about this on stage, and I actually found this on a quote list I had. I had like a quote list that I'd made in high school or something, like motivational quotes.
Yeah.
And there's one quote that says, I don't know what the key to success is, but I know the key to failure is trying to make everybody happy. But
Yeah.
guess who said that?
Bill Cosby.
Oh
Yep.
God.
Yep.
So clearly somebody who
Oh,
wasn't trying
Jesus.
too hard to make everybody happy. But
That really sucks. There was another. My favorite quote growing up was, "You have to be more. You have to want success more than you're afraid of failure." And I think that's another
Yeah.
Bill Cosby quote, which
Yeah.
sucks so
fucking
hard.
Bill Cosby. Today was the day,
Yeah.
by the way, we were recording this on the day that he got sentenced to prison. So
It wasn't long enough.
It
no,
really
it
wasn't
is
long
not.
enough.
I can't believe how not long enough it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Anyway,
prison's prison,
yeah.
so it's
He'll
I
be
guess
dead
a win in that way.
soon.
But yeah,
This episode's really taking some weird
I'm
turns.
sorry.
I really want Taylor to be this person always. This is so fun.
This is the closest you'll ever see me to being drunk.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
really feel like is happening.
I
right
get
now.
really tired.
So
If I
much-
get really tired or really sick, I get
Yeah.
a little
It's
little
like
woozy.
cold medicine and all kinds of shit happening
all kinds of
inside your
stuff
body.
is going on.
Do we have some treat yourselves and some self-carelesses?
Yeah, I have like a hashtag goals update /
Yeah.
what the fuck am I doing update.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing with my life? Yeah, so Dick's by Delaney is officially live. It's very exciting. I'm
We're
so happy.
for you.
Thank you. And I just
It looks
wanted
amazing,
to-
the website.
The
Dude,
website is crazy.
Patrick did
good.
an amazing job. Patrick is like the fucking my guru for all things technology and just support.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's been a very long process. Like, I'll kind of talk about the origin story, I guess. So I started doing this as like a hobby about 4 years ago. I was invited to a holiday party, but a bunch of comedians, JC Carias and all them. Yeah. So I went over and they're like, you got to bring a gift for the white elephant, preferably handmade, whatever you got. So I drew a bunch of like colorful penises on a dick mug or on a mug. Yeah. And then, we did the game and everybody loved it. And it was like stolen the most amount of times and all this stuff. And somebody was like, who made the dick mug? And then JC's like, Delaney made the mug. And then from there, people started ordering these mugs for me to make for their home. So like JC was like one of my first customers, like, if I give you a few bucks, can you make me a set of 4 for the house? I'm like, okay, I guess. And then through word of mouth from like comedians and other people are like, oh, you make the dick mugs? Can you make me some for my like this party I'm going to? And so it was like a word of mouth. And then I was living with Adrian and Aristotle at the time, and I think it was Adrian who said, like, you should try to put these on, like, Etsy and just open up a little shop, see what happens. And I was like, do you think people are gonna buy these? Like, come on. Like, I was so not there yet. I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll do it. So I put it up on Etsy. And I'm like, what do I even call these things? Delaney's dicks. What the fuck am I doing? And so I have to give Adrian credit. She's like, what about Dicks by Delaney? I'm like, oh, that sounds like has a nice ring to it.
Yes.
So I made an Etsy page. People started buying them, but it was mostly word of mouth through friends on like Facebook and stuff like that. And then for years, this has always just been like a side thing that I did that I never took very seriously.
Yeah.
But it's something I've always really enjoyed. But I always put more emphasis into, whether it was like stand up or writing or just stuff that I didn't enjoy as much, but felt like, well, this has to be the thing because this is a lot harder and I don't like it as much as my dick mugs.
Right.
So this has to be, right? Yeah. It can't be something I love this much, right? Is how I make my money.
Forbid,
right. And so I swear, like, the You Are a Badass at Making Money book and all those all those books about just like unblocking yourself when it comes to your money mindset and everything really helped. But so I decided, like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna film my stand-up special, leave stand-up, and I'm gonna launch Dicks by Delaney as like a real business. So the past 6 months, I have been trademarking everything. I LLC'd myself. I got all my branding together, packaging, like everything you could imagine for building a business that I had no idea about. Business cards, this, that, tweaking the website, everything. So it's finally here, and it's going better than I could have ever imagined.
Orders flowing
people
in.
And I think it helps the fact that I've been doing it for a while, so people already knew it was a thing, but now it's like officially on social media, it's accessible, it's there, and I'm like, I'm owning it now. Like, it's something I always just kind of fluffed under the rug, but like people would want to talk about my dick mugs over my stand-up or anything like that's what people always want to talk about. I'm like, no, but I'm doing this other cool thing that's probably a lot more important. But people always focus.
Oh no.
It's just a testament to how much of a badass you are, though, that you can't help but be successful even when you're not giving something 100%. Like, everyone's sweet. Just
success found you with it. It's like, hey, this is what you're doing.
It's just sometimes, like, I feel like it was a big lesson where it's like sometimes you just have to listen to what people are fucking saying to you and what you actually like doing. And we talk about like the what you should do versus the what you want to do or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and if it doesn't work, fine, I'll move on to something else, but I'm gonna give it a real shot. So thank you to all the helpsters that have been buying them, and like I'm stunned. People are so fucking hilarious with their requests. I made like I dickified somebody's brother. I've done Robin Williams. I've done David Blowy.
So good.
The Robin Williams one. It looks like
it's great.
Delaney hand draws them. That's what's so cool is like there are no two exact mugs. It's not a fucking machine. It's this like just very cool and like curated thing you do, and you're such a great artist.
Thank
it's
you.
Really beautiful dicks. They're so lovely.
Thank you.
It's dicksbydelaney.com.
Yeah, dicksbydelaney.com if you want to check it out.
Just go even like look at them because they're so funny. Oh, I love the part where you can like roll over a picture and you can see like how they got
the
dickified.
reference photo.
Yes, the one of you and Cam.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
It's been a blast. So thank you for your support, everybody. And like, if you want to go follow Dicks by Delaney on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, that would be very helpful.
Yay.
It's happening.
I'm very proud of you. Good job on accomplishing a hashtag goal.
Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like my treat yourself is just kind of a continuation of the news last week that Kane and I are moving into a new apartment.
Yeah.
So as this episode comes out, it will be the day that we move in, actually.
Yay! Oh, that's awesome.
And we're so excited. We decided instead of getting a dining room table, because we just weren't using them, we pretty much always eat dinner on the couch with a coffee table watching TV, that we're going to get a foosball table instead of a dining room table, which
so perfect.
is very exciting.
Yeah.
Very cool for us. So that's kind of my main update, is just getting really excited about being in a beautiful new place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for you.
Yeah.
And my treat yourself / goals update is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but you haven't announced it yet.
I haven't. Have I not announced it yet?
I don't think
I talked about it on the Patreon.
You said that you wanted to do it, but I don't think you've officially signed a lease until this podcast.
That's true, because we got approved like last week. But an apartment opened up in Delaney's beautiful complex. And I don't know. I've just been on the road so much and, going back and forth between places and not in one spot for very long. And I just hit a wall where originally I had planned to move in like January or something and thought like, no, that's soon enough. And I just hit a wall, was it last week? Wow. Where I got home from being on the road and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I set up like 6 appointments to go view apartments. We saw like 3 in one day, and by the end of the day it was like, okay, well, it's gonna be one of these 2, and it's probably gonna be the one in Delaney's complex, because why would we not do that? I'm moving at the end of October, which feels like so far away now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so tough, and I'm on the road so much for the next 3 months. So part of me
make
is
it go fast.
It will. I hope so. I don't know. I'm so excited though to just like decorate and buy stuff. Like I am so over. I'm gonna treat myself just to the nines with this apartment. Like I am so done living in places that are just fine or just okay or just like, oh, I'm gonna save money. No. I'm spending all the money, because what good is saving money if you don't spend it on something you actually want and that's going to make your life better? I have so many plans for the bedroom, and I'm going to buy plants, real plants. And
I'm done with fake plants.
Yeah,
that's a big thing I'm done with. Yeah, that's bad feng shui. I'm done with that shit.
Terrible feng shui.
You bring like fake people into your life on accident and shit. And then,
want some real ass fern people.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm going to get a nice new desk. I'm going to get new bedding. That's really nice.
Hey, I wish Brooklyn. I wish that they would sponsor us, because truly it's the best bedding I've ever had. And
you got a duvet cover.
Duvet is a whole set. It was duvet cover with sheets and pillowcases, and Jesus, they're so soft and nice. I really hope they sponsor us at some point, because like,
reach out to them.
Tell me again how much it was. Because it wasn't that high.
No, I can't remember. I want to say 200 maybe, like
that's
a little
cheap.
bit less than for that whole set, and it really I think will last a super long time. But Kane and I were in that same position where it's like, you know what? We've been slumming it for 4 years.
Yep.
And it gets to a point where you're like, this is my life, and life is short, and if we can afford to get a better place, even if it means like maybe having a tighter budget or whatever, then what are we doing?
Yeah, what am I saving my treasures for? Am I going to be buried like a mummy? Like, is this going in my pyramid? Like, no, I'm going to be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel frustrated.
Exactly. Sometimes I think our type A is really helpful for us, and then in other ways I think it can hold us back a little bit and keep us in a fearful spot when we really should be like, enjoying our lives and, within reason. We're not fucking going to Vegas and putting all our savings on one roulette spin or whatever.
Not yet.
But I just think there are definitely ways to improve our lives, and we're totally doing it. And so Taylor and Delaney are going to be living in the same apartment complex, and then my new apartment complex is like literally 5 minutes away, and then we are all 5 minutes away from this podcast studio.
It's going to be great.
So just get ready, guys. Get ready, listeners, because like we're just gonna ramp this shit up.
We are. We have so many plans for the podcast.
Delaney won't have a day job soon.
Delaney's gonna be doing.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be
full-time.
Doing full-time Dicks by Delaney very, very soon. I cannot wait to announce that like officially. And we're gonna have just way more flexibility during the day and more podcast episodes and just like other things that we have been planning for a long time.
Yeah, you only get one life, you guys.
Yeah.
Stop wasting it on garbage.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm so scared of
Sad
dying.
Taylor
and I'm
has
like,
a lot of
what?
motivational messages.
Seriously, just like, oh my God. I feel like just watching Delaney like make her life exactly what she wants it over the last year and a half has been such a huge, it's had such a huge impact on me. And I think you too, especially with all the
Absolutely, yeah.
road work. Like, Kelsey and I would have never turned down road work before. I would have been like, no, we got to be on the road because that's the only place there's validation for us.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh no, we can stay home and be happy and we're still okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
My cats validate me now.
Yeah, that's right.
They're
Carpe
making
the
me feel-
fuck diem, people.
Yeah.
Let's do
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are we ready to talk about insecurity?
I think we
Let's
are
do
very
it.
ready.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
Yeah. So, again, this was something that was requested on our Patreon. If you have not joined our Patreon yet, we just can't recommend it enough. We have so much fun recording those episodes. You get 2 bonus episodes every month and personal rewards. So if you're interested, it's patreon.com/self-helpless.
$5
Yeah.
a month. $5 a
Oh,
month.
it's nothing. A cup of
That's-
coffee a month.
That's a frappuccino a month.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So what are you doing?
And it's where we answer your listener emails. And if you want to
Yes.
write into us, it's selfhelplesspodcast@gmail.com. And man, you guys are just the best.
We love reading them.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are very talented writers, and then also on top of it, just really digging down deep with these questions, and like the way that you open up to us is amazing. And then how supportive the listeners are when they hear about this, and then we connect you guys, and you guys end up helping each other with stuff that maybe we couldn't help you with because we didn't have any personal experiences with. So I love this community so much. It's really the only thing I look at on the internet. I go straight to our secret Facebook group and I just scroll and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much good shit.
It's only
and
good
happiness.
feeling stuff,
It
which is
is.
really
Yes.
hard to find on the internet.
Yeah.
But like our secret Facebook group is
It's just people-
exclusively good feeling.
People helping each other. Oh my God. Yeah. It's just, you guys are fucking awesome. I
Yeah.
think we really have the greatest listeners in the world.
Yeah.
I think just all of this, it brings the right people together.
Totally.
Yeah. Anyway, insecurities. Here we go.
Yeah.
I found a couple little tidbits out there on the Goog. This. This.
I love
Oh,
your
by the way,
reads.
update on how did the social media thing go for you? Remember the last couple episodes we talked about?
Oh yeah. Well, God, what a great thing to talk about today with insecurity, because
Yeah.
social media is like the root of a lot of my insecurity, or at least it brings out a lot of it in me.
Right.
And ever since you told me, hey, you need to cut way back, I can try and be more like your, I don't know.
Accountability partner.
Yeah, exactly. I've had your voice in the back of my head when I like try to click on Instagram. I'm like, do I actually need to click on this, or did I just look at it 30 seconds ago? Okay,
Right.
no, I don't need to look at it. And I've done a lot better of, if I do go on, just looking for notifications and not scrolling.
Yeah.
And I don't fucking miss it.
Good.
Like,
Good,
I
yeah.
really don't. I don't know if it's my personality or if it's for everybody, but it does really wear me down to scroll through shit.
Yeah.
And I also I kind of like hit a really unfortunate streak between Instagram and Facebook of seeing some posts that like immediately had me in tears of like animal abuse things.
Oh yeah.
And I had to like call my therapist for like kind of an emergency session about it. I really cannot handle any of that, and that shit will get me off of social media so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Where I'm
Yeah.
like, don't need to see any of this. This is I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot better on really figuring out, wow, I was putting so much time into this and it was making me feel bad. So thank you for helping me do that.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
no problem. And then in exchange, I did some pop culture research
Oh my God.
because that was our deal, right?
Yeah.
So
Did you listen to Lemonade?
I didn't listen to Lemonade yet, but I found out who
dead to me.
MGK was.
Who's that?
Machine Gun
Gun
Kelly.
Kelly.
Did you listen to the disc?
And I listened to the disses back and forth, and Cam kind of filled me in on
Yeah.
what all of this means. And my God, I have this song stuck in my head, MGK song. I love Eminem so much, but goddamn, that fucking sick of these sweatsuits and let's talk about it.
I have no
I'm
idea.
sick of these
See,
in there.
I didn't get that into Machine Gun Kelly's response, but
Yeah.
Kill Shot by Eminem,
Oh, he
like
was great.
his final comeback.
Yeah.
I've listened to that so many times.
It's amazing.
It's so fucking good. Had to give you a career to destroy it.
I know.
Like, oh, look the fuck out.
Oh yeah, no, brilliant. But as far as the catchy tune, which is what I like, I'm going to have to go with Machine Gun on that one. Because that got stuck in my head, even though I really think Eminem is by far the superior writer.
Yeah.
But my God. Look at those sweatsuits. Let's talk about it.
It's like eating cereal in the music video.
I'm kind of into this.
I'm Eminem ride or die. But you know what? I'm really enjoying that we can even have this conversation right now. I'm like,
I'm in the know
this
now.
is so nice. I hope you continue to do this.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many more things we can talk about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do like one topic a week where I research like, how did P Diddy happen?
Latest rapper.
Yeah.
How did P Diddy happen?
Can I also say just like a random thing for listeners? If you're looking for another podcast, I've been talking about it nonstop with the girls. But Time Suck with Dan Cummins, we're trying to get Dan on the podcast, is such a well-produced, informative podcast. He basically like dives into a different historical topic every week.
Oh, cool.
And does like 2 hours of research about each thing. He has an episode about like the Biggie and Tupac feud and all that shit.
Oh, really?
I just listened to one about Joan of Arc.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, it's crazy. It's so fun and so good. I highly recommend it. He's so hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, so here's the little tidbits I found. Most of us feel insecure sometimes, but some of us feel insecure most of the time. The kind of childhood you had, past traumas, recent experiences of failure or rejection, loneliness, social anxiety, negative beliefs about yourself, perfectionism, or having a critical parent or partner can all contribute to insecurity. And then there's sometimes I was going to say misconstruction. That is not even a word. Sometimes people misunderstand the differences between jealousy and insecurity. And the key difference is that insecurity is an internal state of mind, while jealousy is something that is triggered by external circumstances. The reason jealousy and insecurity are related and often confused is because if you are insecure, you'll experience more jealousy.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting.
That makes sense. Like whatever's going on within is gonna affect like how susceptible you are to
exactly.
feelings.
So it's like a trigger.
You get jealous because you don't feel good about where you are or what you're doing.
Right.
That makes sense.
But I guess insecure people can still be jealous too, right? Just without or is it all stems from insecurity, do you think?
I feel like
I guess you could be jealous without being insecure if you were just like very possessive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you could love your life, but then be like, see somebody's yacht and be like, oh, that'd be cool if I fucking had that. But I'm like happy with my life, you know?
I feel like the majority of jealousy has to stem from insecurity in some form.
Yeah.
I just like, when I think jealousy, I think career stuff, but I also think a lot of people who have jealousy in relationships, and that almost always stems from feeling like deep down they're not good enough or like something might happen. And
1,000%.
That's the reason a lot of people cheat, is because they just feel like they're not good enough for their partner.
Right.
Yeah.
So they go get it from someone else.
Right.
Or did you guys watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
I've seen the first season.
You did watch it?
Almost all of the first season.
It's so good, right?
Yeah.
It won so many Emmys. And just her garbage husband cheating
what
on
a
her with
trash
like
man.
just this receptionist, just secretary. And she's so like, I loved when she lost it on stage. Spoiler alert. When she loses on stage and she's just like, I did everything right. I did everything.
Yeah.
And I think even a friend of hers says in the show, like, you did everything and your husband still left you. Like, why wouldn't mine leave me? Because you are perfect. And it's like, because he probably felt like garbage being with somebody who did everything right.
It's almost like you can't win. You
Yeah.
can
Win.
be great and feel
scary.
secure in your relationship, but that might project insecurity onto your partner.
Yeah.
Right.
That happened in
man.
Crazy Rich Asians, too.
Oh my god.
You see Crazy Rich Asians?
Not yet.
Great
Should
movie.
I've heard it's really good.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet. I just that's why everybody just needs to work on themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody needs therapy. Everybody needs self-improvement of some kind and self-awareness. And the more people that do it and dive into that, the better the world will be all around.
Yeah.
I found a little list, 9 common causes of insecurity: comparing yourself to others, appearances and imperfections, or external or internal, acceptance by others, i.e. fitting in others' opinions, etc., feeling unloved or unwanted, not measuring up to the standards of others, whether it's cultural or societal or media, fear, failure, fear of or previous failures, bad decisions, wrong living, etc., tragic incident or circumstances, whether it's death, abuse, infidelity, getting significance in wrong things, whether it's job, gifts/talents, spouse, children, appearance, material possessions.
Where are you supposed to get confidence from then? What's left?
Within.
What's within? What is that?
I guess it's like being at peace with yourself that you are enough as you are.
But how do you prove to yourself that you're enough without accomplishing shit or looking a certain way?
I guess that's just a personal,
Because if you looked like garbage and you're not doing anything with your life,
right?
How are you just within? You feel great? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I mean, it's a constant battle, right? Like, none of us
totally.
nobody's there. Nobody's
we all have
100%
different barometers to measure what that means for us.
I think, like, when I feel the best, it's just when it's not about anybody else or whatever. It's just me just, sitting on the couch next to somebody I love. And that just, like, peaceful feeling. I'm just being right now. I don't have to be working or accomplishing anything or talking. I'm just at peace, like, in this company.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the most kind of true acceptance of yourself or being by yourself. Like, I don't know, looking at the ocean or something, and it's just you alone appreciating something. I don't know.
But I've thought about that, and I do feel like my insecurities and stuff like that go away if I am on social media less or if I'm like out and about less.
Yeah.
But that's not a solution to the problem. It's like, well, if I just don't talk to people and like don't expose myself to the potential of feeling down, it's like you have to learn how to be out in society and cope with it.
Absolutely.
Which I like. Of those things on the list, did you guys feel like a particular thing resonated with you that like makes your insecurity flare up?
Oh, dude, I have a lot of things. I know exactly what I'm insecure about.
What are you insecure about?
One of the biggest things is that I do not retain like historical or political or geographical information very well. I know that sounds like relax,
that's so specific,
but I get so insecure in like intellectual conversations sometimes where they're talking about current political things or whatever or all that kind of shit, and I'm like, I don't have anything to add to this conversation that's gonna even I don't know what's going on. I have never, this sounds shitty, but if I'm not super interested or something doesn't strike a chord with me, I just don't retain the information very well. All of that kind of stuff.
By the way, like, I think you are so not alone in that insecurity.
Yeah.
I've been there a billion times.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of other people have too.
Yeah. And it just makes me feel like a fucking idiot. I'm like, oh my God, I should probably know where that country is located on a map, but I don't. So I'm not going to say anything right now. I'm just going to sit here, keep it to myself, like, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, maybe I should have studied better in school. I mean, it's like a spiral of like, I have nothing of value to add to this conversation because I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Right.
Well, I was thinking about it last night about how much I've been enjoying TimeSec, which is all like a history-based podcast.
Yeah.
Because in school, history was my least favorite subject.
It's one of mine too. Yeah.
No interest in it because it was being presented in the most boring-ass way.
Yes.
I didn't have history teachers that made it fun. It was just like a list of facts we were supposed to memorize of shit that happened thousands of years ago.
Right.
That to me didn't feel pertinent to my current life.
Right.
But what's been
But you liked math?
I love me some math because it's
Freaking
puzzles.
nerd.
Not pertinent.
But it's puzzles. It's solving puzzles. There's always an answer. Like history was just like
The
this
founding
happened.
fathers solved the puzzles for you. And that's how we have America.
Oh my God. I just want to take what you said as a quote and be like, this is Taylor.
Drunk
Sick.
Taylor.
Yeah,
It's close to drunk Taylor.
No,
Yeah,
I
get it.
mean that.
But when it's presented in a really fun, funny way, I'm all about it. And I've actually really been enjoying now as an adult going back and being like, man, I'm sure this was taught to me in history class, but I didn't give a fuck about it when I was in 8th grade.
Right.
But now I'm like, I really want to know about Joan of Arc and all these things, these really cool figures that at the time I didn't care about. So.
Like I'm so insecure about it that I feel guilty voting because I don't feel knowledgeable about every single issue, and I always like to be prepared.
Right.
And sometimes I go into the booth and I'm like, I'm not prepared enough to be doing this. I want somebody more intelligent to be taking my place right now.
Oh,
I'm like
me
really
too.
fucking like,
yeah,
you know, like I need to put more time and effort into this, but it gets exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get into your own little bubble doing your own thing, and
You know what you should do? Maybe you and Cam should start playing the Jeopardy game that Kane and I play, because there are certain categories where he and I both are like, neither of us are going to win this one, like where it's a geography thing or a political thing. But going through the game, it like does teach you some things and it's easier to retain. And I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun way to learn.
I think it's partly because I was homeschooled in high school, so I taught myself everything. So the subjects I didn't give a fuck about, I did not give a fuck about. Meaning I skipped that shit and put the bare minimums. I'm like, I don't care.
So interesting. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't care about this shit. So I'm going to do the bare minimum, get by on like the bare minimum. I still got an A. But like, just memorize it, not really care. And then boom. And really focus on like
disposable information.
Yeah, disposable information, and more really focused on like I like English and literature and writing and all that, and I loved that. But everything else, like, oh my god, the math and the history and all, I just did not give two shits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe I would have learned better if I was like forced to be in a classroom for those subjects, because I just, But and then it's like Cam is so intelligent about all those things, and he's like traveled all over, and he's just very, very intelligent, and he just absorbs every bit of information well that sometimes I'm like, babe, I don't know the fuck you're talking about. Like, I got nothing for you. You're just gonna have to do this shit on your own, whatever is happening here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely a big one that that's insecure about.
A very interesting one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Yeah, and like even if I know, like if even like with the religious studies stuff, like I know what I'm talking about with those things, but if I forget like what date happened or like what date this happened or something like that, I feel completely like I feel like I shouldn't even be talking about it. If I don't remember,
you're kind of like all or nothing.
I am a little bit all or nothing. Like, if I don't know every statistic about this religious movement, I should not even open my fucking mouth.
But you know more than most people is the crazy part.
I know.
It's just so insecure about that.
Yeah, the being ill-informed about what's going on is it's so tough, Like you get on Twitter every day and it's just this onslaught of horrific news.
Yes.
I feel like. So at a certain point you have to go, I mean, I want to be informed, but I also have my own mental health to think about. Like, how much can I bring into my head and be dwelling on a daily basis?
Totally. It's what we talk about, where it's like, it's the same as what you eat, all that, everything you're consuming in your phone and on your screens is the same thing. It's filling up space in you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel insecure about the fact, it kind of goes hand in hand with the being ill-informed thing, about just the fact that I've chosen a career in entertainment, where I'm like, this is what you're doing? Like, you're gonna get overpaid to tell jokes for the rest of your life? Like, you could actually be doing something good. Like, you could be helping people. Like, you're not doing anything.
You're helping people. Laughter is very important,
gift,
and people are appreciative of that.
People can make each other laugh. Like, it's not a skill you need. Like, I'm not even a teacher. Like, I'm not even.
Think about if there were no comedians in the world.
I think we'd be okay.
You think?
Aww,
I don't think so.
No, I think it's. I mean, I think obviously there would be a void that needed to be filled, but I just don't feel. I don't feel needed. I feel like I've chosen a luxury as a job. Like anything entertainment is not something that's
like not a necessity.
It's not a necessity. I agree that it helps people,
right?
But it doesn't help those like basic. I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm not helping somebody find shelter and food, like all those different things. I'm not working for some cause, some force for good. So I get insecure about that. Like, especially now, whenever I enter into a new relationship and I meet their family, I'm like, do I just sound like a huge loser? Because I know I'm not.
You like literally couldn't be less of a loser.
I know. I'm so stable for my age, especially, but I just worry about sounding like such a fuck up.
Oh man,
because I'm a comedian.
I think everybody has a different skill set. If we all did the same job, the world would be fucking boring.
That's true,
right? Like we're all so different, and like what an incredible feeling when like somebody comes up to you after a show and says something like, "My brother passed away 3 weeks ago, and this is the first time I've laughed."
Oh,
those
like
are
those are like, holy shit. You realize that maybe to you it's like this very surfacey thing that you do, but to somebody else that could be really meaningful. And I'm sure everybody
therapy.
I'm sure everybody feels that way in their profession at some point, like they're not doing enough or they're not helping enough or saving the world enough, but I don't know, everybody's got different talents.
What do you feel insecure about?
I mean, the biggest one I battle with is insecure in my career and just in my abilities as a performer. I think that we live in this time in terms of being a comedian that's really great because it's this like comedy boom, but unfortunately it gives you like so many opportunities to compare yourself with like everybody else that's working and who's getting what opportunities and who's getting what stage time. And I know that it's like the thing I've said in the Desiderata where there will always be greater and lesser persons than yourself. And when you feel insecure, I've told myself that I know there are a lot of people who look at what I have and they're like, oh, if only I could have those things and be where she's at. But we never think about that. We always think about, what do I not have, and who's getting what I want, and how can I be better? This is probably a good thing to talk about for insecurity. That actually plays into what you're talking about with feeling a little bit dumb. Yeah. Which is funny because we are educated women. Like I know I am confident I'm a smart woman. But I got offered like a late night packet to be a writer for a late night show if I wanted to submit it. I didn't get offered the job, got offered the chance to like submit for it. And I'm like you, where I don't read up on politics every day. And if you're submitting a late night packet for, Kimmel, any of those type of people, you kind of need to be in the know with what's going on. And I sat down and I really tried. There was like pretty much a whole day that I was sifting through news online, trying to figure out, okay, is this something that this person would say as a monologue joke? And if it is, how can I make this funny? And I just kept hitting like wall after wall after wall. And I called my mom and I actually like started to cry a little bit because I was like, I just really feel stupid. I really feel like I'm just like not a funny person right now because I'm having a really hard time turning these news articles into something that's actually like laugh out loud funny. And maybe I was setting the bar too high and being too hard on myself, but it's also like a TV packet. It's an important thing, and I don't want to send in something mediocre. And I think I have those moments where you're like, God, what if I'm just garbage? What if I'm just like not funny enough? What if I'm not quick enough? And I think we talked about it last episode that there are still times where I come off stage and it's a great show and I'm like, oh, I'm great. Like, I'm awesome. Why would I ever doubt myself? Things are awesome. And then there are times where it's a bad show, and it's really hard for me to not spiral into just losing belief in myself completely. And just feeling super insecure. I care so much about what other people think of me. That's a big insecurity thing. I just really want to be well liked, and both as a comedian and as a person. Like, I have little mini panic attacks all the time, and I'll vent to you guys and basically have you make me not be crazy. But I'll be like, hey, I feel really weird about what I said to that person, and I'm scared that like they think I'm a bad person now because they took that a weird way. And you guys immediately are like, nope, nobody would think that. Like, you're way overthinking that. So that's a huge source of insecurity for me too, is just being like misinterpreted or misunderstood. Like having like your character,
you can't control it.
Like having your character in question ever. That's a huge fear and huge insecurity of mine.
Man, I have like a laundry list of things. I feel insecure even being part of this trio. Because
God save.
Jesus Christ.
Because I look at, especially like when we're in like meetings together and stuff, and like I no, not only am I no longer doing stand up, but it's like you guys are like, comic powerhouses, and then I'm like, and Delaney's doing dick mugs now. It's fucking weird.
It's not like that at all. This dismissive movement you did with your hand. I mean, we're going to these meetings. You have one with you, and it's like
we're not
the
some
biggest
bag lady that we just like found outside of 7-Eleven. Like, come in, spice it up.
But I mean, like for myself, I'm like, I don't even know. I don't feel like I'm even on the same playing field anymore. And I think that because my identity was so wrapped up in stand-up comedy for so long that I'm still like trying to pull myself out of that a little bit. And I don't like, I'm latching on to new things and stuff like that, but I still haven't really like broken that tie. And so sometimes like I have to like reteach myself how to talk about myself now, which is a really fucking weird thing to have to learn, because I'm like, for 6.5 years I was saying, I'm a stand-up comic, blah blah blah, I did whatever.
It's your identity.
Now, it's my identity. And now I'm like, I'll paint penises. And like I have to like think, how do I present myself?
It doesn't come off like that though. You're so poised, and I feel like you're your sort of elevator pitch down so concisely. Like it's you really sound like you know what you're doing and you know what you're talking about, and you have a sense of humor about it.
Right.
You don't take it too seriously, because that would also come off weird if you were just like, yeah, no. Like, I think you do it perfectly. I'm so surprised to hear you say that you feel that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then the fact that, like, I've been doing Dicks by Delaney, you know, for 4 years on the side, but I never, like, really latched onto it till now. And so, like, even the fact that, like, if you go look at my social media, it's all very low. It looks like I just started this random thing, you know, and even that, it's like, nobody's going to take me seriously for a very long time. You know, like, I'm, like, building this thing that to most people looks like, okay, you just started and like you're probably having some kind of crisis after losing your stand-up identity.
God,
you know what I mean? It's like all this shit. It's like,
but it's
weird.
All that shit we have.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I have so many insecurities in our group. Like,
really?
All the time. One of my biggest fears is that you guys don't actually think I'm funny.
Really?
That's like one of my biggest fears. Like, anytime we do shows together, if I don't feel like I completely killed it, if there are even like moments, like a couple jokes that like didn't get what they usually get, I'm like, they don't think I'm funny anymore.
Oh man, that is weird.
From the beginning, working with you guys, which we talk about that, like we used to see each other, we'd have like kind of comedy crushes and be fans of one another.
Yeah.
And I think there's like something really deep, like stemming from that, of just wanting to like prove to one another that we're like worthy of approval and all that. And
man, I did not know that at all.
All the time.
That's so surprising.
Because like, I mean, fuck, if I got on stage now, there would be a lot of insecurity coming. I mean, I haven't been on stage in like 6 months now, and that is the longest I've ever gone without doing stand-up.
And you feel great.
So I feel like good about that. But then it's also like, I'm so excited to tour with you guys with Self-Helpless, and like I know that that's going to be a hurdle that I have to get over again, where like I'm not used to being in front of people publicly anymore, and I'm gonna have to like get used to that again. You know, it's like this weird, you know, like part of your brain that like kind of slowly dwindles after a while, you know?
It's a muscle.
Yeah. So I feel like first time you guys see me on stage again, it's probably not gonna be pretty.
Again, you're so good at everything.
Yeah.
No matter how much effort you put
really
into
effortless. But that's something I deal with all the time. Still.
Wow.
All the time.
I am insecure within this group about not being mature enough.
What?
Because I'm younger, and I just feel like you guys, you know, you're at a different place in your life and probably have more in common, which is natural and fine. But so I get insecure about like, oh my God, I'm like a child. Like I don't know anything. I haven't figured it out. Like I'm not.
Totally don't see you that way at all.
How weird. Isn't it weird when you just
so
open up about this shit?
Yeah.
I bet, we all have insecurities about being part of this group.
And none of us make each other feel that way. It's
no,
all our own thing.
own
like
shit.
the Adele quote, like if any of us made each other feel like shit, we'd be like, bye.
Yeah.
Like, we would not be what we are as a group. And so there's no like root of this insecurity from one person being like, that was an okay set, I guess. Like there's nothing that anybody's ever said to anybody that would make them feel bad.
No.
But it just comes from our fucking demons.
Oh my God, here's a great example. I'm going to say this publicly on the podcast. So for our Patreon reward, I was doing a journal. I still haven't sent it to Hannah. So sorry, because I've restarted it like 3 times.
Really?
I'm so scared it's not going to. I've dropped like $100 on this journal. And I cannot.
What?
Yeah. Like as far as like buying like stickers and paper and like different journals, like, oh my God, I cannot. I started a different one, then I went back to the original one, and I'm still like, oh my God, it's not enough. Like the lines aren't clear enough, and I didn't do it with a ruler, or I didn't cut it right, or the glue. I'm just not crafty enough, and it's because I'm just afraid she's gonna get it and be like, this is shitty. Like I don't. Why did I?
Oh my God.
Want this? And I'm just like so scared, and I have to just send it this week. Hannah, you're like the best ever. It's not because I want her to know, like, it's not because I'm just like, I don't care. I'll get to that. It's because I'm so scared of sending something shitty. Yeah. I have it in the car. I should show it to you guys before I send it.
It's amazing. Yeah, show it to us because we'll make you feel great about it.
Yeah.
And now it's getting to a point where like also I want her to be able to use it too, and the front is kind of like fat. So I feel like if you put more in it, you can't actually use it for anything. So I don't know. I have to have you guys look at it.
I've had that with the Patreon.
Yeah?
Well, I had to send makeup tips and all this stuff and makeup recommendations to one of our Patreon reward winners, and the whole time I was studying, I was like, God, what if she reads this and is like, this is just okay, or like, I just the whole time was worried that it wasn't good enough.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Which
what we're always worried
all
about.
of our listeners are the fucking sweetest people. I'm sure nobody thinks that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, or like when I posted like videos in response to like people's advice questions, I had to figure out first of all how to shoot the video to begin with, and then like redid it because I would stumble on words and like this I sound like a crazy person.
Yes.
But yeah, it's God, it's so. I mean, I'm getting into like I'm doing art now for a living, so I'm like painting on a daily basis, and it is hard when you're a perfectionist with your art and your work, and sometimes I will spend way too much time fixing a dick mug.
Yeah.
Because
or
I'm like,
that painting I told you I wanted
Yeah.
like 6 months ago. I was like, it's perfect. And you're like, no, I want to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, oh no, I'll give it to you after the Netflix thing. And I was like, okay, it's fine. Like, I like it how it is. And you're like, oh, I'm going to fix it. And it's like, there's nothing to fix.
It's
it looks
perfect.
great.
I love it. Yeah.
I know. I really am fixing it. You're going to a housewarming gift. It's going to be a housewarming gift. You don't have to move it. I'll just
Cut
walk
to
it
my
over.
wedding.
Yeah.
I'm finally going to get this
Seriously.
painting that I already loved years ago.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
like a
man.
weird, the perfectionism when it comes to your own work. That
Yeah.
it's a fucking spiral.
Yeah.
It is tough. And like, I'm going to have to really be better at that because I'm not, when I paint something, I mean, Cam's there and he just says everything looks fine. So I can't really, but like, I'm not
Yeah.
getting, I don't get to go on stage anymore and tell a joke and have an immediate reaction to be like a gauge to like, oh, okay, this is working or this is not.
Yeah.
I just send that shit in the mail and hope for the best and hope that they
Yeah.
like it.
Oh,
And so
that's
it's
true.
nice when I get responses back like this, I love this mug, or like, thank you so much. Because other than that, I'm just like, oh my God, I just sent one of my mug babies into the void, you know, and I have
thought
no
of it like
idea what
Yeah.
happened.
Oh my gosh, you're right. That's
It's
crazy.
scary.
That would drive me nuts.
It's
Yeah.
really, it's been tough, but I'm like, if I'm going to own my own business and run it efficiently, I cannot agonize over every single piece of art.
Yeah.
And I have been to this point. So I'm going to
Yeah.
have to get better at that.
Yeah.
Do you guys get insecure on the podcast itself? I know I get insecure about
Yes.
like when I listen back, I'm like, oh, I feel like I said that word wrong.
Yeah.
I beat myself up so hard because one of our early episodes, I think there were a couple in a row where I said weary and I meant wary. And I was like, people are going to listen to it and think I'm a fucking idiot. The girls think I'm an idiot. I'm sure the girls caught it and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe that she doesn't know the difference between those two words. What an idiot. I can't believe we're recording with her. Like I spiral.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, no, I can't listen to our podcast anymore because I don't like the sound of my
too.
own voice. I don't like my laugh. I hear my
Aw.
lisp. And then once that freaking the clicking comment, I'm like, oh, and then I fucking, chew on my tongue apparently in between sentences. Yeah, so like I have to completely separate myself or I'll pick myself apart like that too. And then I'll just
Wow.
never want to talk on the
Aw.
podcast, you
Yeah,
know?
me
Yeah,
too. I
but
used to
yeah.
listen to him all the time, and then at a certain point, I was like, "Oh, Taylor, if a joke doesn't land, you're gonna hate yourself all day. Like, you have to just let it be what it is." Because I listen to plenty of podcasts, and I don't care when people say a word slightly wrong or
Yeah.
stumble over their words or whatever. Like, if people are listening and have formed a relationship with us, they're not gonna care. You know,
Yeah.
they're gonna love us no matter which form of wary we use.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it, and I didn't remember. I haven't been carrying that around with me. Just
I
like,
kn-
you know what Kelsey did on the podcast
know.
when we first
man.
started. Yeah, I get really insecure in relationships of any kind, romantic, friendships, family. I feel like and it's probably that fear of abandonment where it's more, and I say every relationship so it's not like just like a looks thing where I'm like, oh, I'm not hot enough, they're gonna cheat on me. It's not that. It's with every relationship I'm in, I feel like I'm constantly trying to prove to my boyfriend or my sister or my best friend or my parents that I am like a good whatever the reverse of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, that I am a great girlfriend or a great sister or a great daughter. And if I don't feel like I am those things, then I don't know where to get that confidence from. That's why I was asking about the within versus outward, because for me, if I'm doing all those things, like my actions are what I glean confidence from, because I can point to stuff and go, I do this for this person and I do that for this person.
Right.
And I made this choice, and this is
Yeah.
how I know I'm a good person, and how I know that I try really hard and take care of the people around me. But sometimes I feel myself doing things like we've talked about, Delaney, for the wrong reasons. Where you're like, oh, I'm doing this to prove to myself that I'm worth being treated well back, almost.
Right. Yeah.
Which is not healthy. You shouldn't be doing that. You should just be, again, getting that quiet peace from within where you're like, oh, I'm doing this because this is what makes me feel good.
This is what I actually want to do.
Yeah.
This is what I actually want to do. And, not coming from this insecure place of like, I don't know, I'm not good enough or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
so
tough. Yeah, definitely like when you doing something when you're kind of hoping or expecting a result out of it is probably not the best reason to do something or give something. But yeah, we all
just
do
a recipe for like disappointment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even if what you're expecting is just a feeling of like confidence and validation from yourself.
Right.
Like if you're doing something to go, okay, if I do this, I'll be worthy of love. That's probably not why you should do something. You should just do it because you're like, this will make the other person feel good.
Right.
And I already feel good about me.
Right.
Totally.
You're trying to prove to yourself that you're...
I'm fine with me.
I'm fine with me.
Yeah.
I will say that like charitable giving is something that's supposed to boost everyone's sense of worthiness and purpose and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I think any way to incorporate that into your life is just going to be helpful, even if you're doing it for selfish reasons. Like, I'm doing this because it makes me feel good. Yeah, I want to help the kids too, but like mostly it's like it gives me a tremendous amount of purpose and joy and all that. I don't know. I mean, I definitely want to always incorporate that aspect in my life.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel like I need to start doing volunteer work. Not just like donating money when
volunteer
people
work
ask.
is great. I mean, time or money. Like time or money. Like when you anytime that you're involved in like a charity benefit show where you're working pro bono, that is donating your time. Yeah. Anytime that you're giving money to a cause, but like I just think any way that you can help another human being, or just us devoting time to the podcast, it's like, trying to connect with people and say like, hey, you're not alone. It's donating your time.
Oh, it feels so good,
right?
You can help people. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's good for us too. Like we learn so much from doing it, also.
Yeah.
It's so crazy just how damaging insecurities can be, and how they just wreak havoc on your own mental health and view of yourself, and the way you react to everybody around you.
Right.
Yeah.
I get as far as like insecure in relationships, I think the biggest one right now I have is that I'm not like pulling my weight financially enough, even though it's like, Cam's agreed to pay a little bit more in rent and stuff, and like I feel like I try to overcompensate by like now I'm like, okay, I should always get the groceries, the grocery bill, and I should always be the one getting the toiletries, and I should be the one picking up dinner or whatever it might be. But like, it's still, he still does other things too. I don't know. It's like, but I feel like I am not super comfortable with that yet, with somebody like taking care of me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've always been ultra independent.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like I constantly owe him something and feel kind of bad or guilty about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that has been a weird thing that I've been.
And that's just like of your own.
Tough.
Yeah.
Like he's not making you feel any sort of way.
No.
And you're just like creating that.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to do all of our laundry and I'm going to do this. I'm like,
I'm
trying to like
make it like,
yeah,
look, I'm paying you back. In other ways.
Yeah, I'm trying to like be, pull my weight, I guess.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Even though it's like, it's something that he just did for me and wanted to do to get a nice apartment. But I still feel like, oh God, sometimes I'm like, this is temporary. Like I want to make a lot more money so like I can,
Yeah.
It's like, it's whatever. It's fine.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
it's so
not even
weird.
those societal roles of like, usually women are like, yeah, my husband pays more or my boyfriend pays more. And that's what I was raised to think they were supposed to do. This is my prince. He's doing it. And you're just not like that at all. You're like, no, I want it all to be equal down the middle. So I feel, which I completely get. I get like that with sex, which is really bad, where I feel like, I think I feel insecure about, just because of my upbringing, I feel insecure about like how important it is to me or something, or that I'm so kind of like tangled up about it still, and how there's so much like guilt still there, and that every once in a while we gotta like unpack that. So then that makes me feel like I have to like overcompensate and be like very like accommodating, if that's the word, or just be like always like up for that, which I typically am, but like every once in a while, even when I'm not, I'm just like, well, I'm going to like take care of this person because like take care of my partner or whoever I'm with because but a lot of times it comes from a place of, because I've never been with anybody who was like pressuring me or made me feel like I had to do anything. But there is that deep rooted insecurity of like, oh, if I don't do this, then I'm going to be like a shitty girlfriend or something. Which is very unhealthy and all from within.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that a little bit with the marriage and family therapist who came on, that like I have some insecurity about how like my sex drive has been lower, and I'm like, I don't want him to feel bummed out and like like I'm not being a good enough girlfriend, like you said, or fiance, whatever. So it's tough. But we should probably get to our Google message.
Yeah, the advice question. So one of our new Patreon rewards, if you go to patreon.com/selfhelpless, we have the $5 subscription, we have the $40 subscription, and this new reward got added to the This Is How We Live Now tier, where once a month we're going to have one of you guys call into the studio, and we're going to, or leave a voicemail, and we're going to answer your question or whatever it might be live.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can we
So,
plug in my phone?
Yeah.
Plug it in and play it out.
Do we need headphones to hear it?
Aaron, sorry, we didn't think of this sooner. You can.
Turn that one up and just leave it on the table.
Oh, and then we'll be able to hear all of it.
Okay.
Perfect. I can do another intro, too, if we need to cut this out.
Do you have a jack on this?
Oh my gosh, maybe I don't because it's a stupid.
Do you want to send it to me?
I don't know if I can send it to you. Oh, do I need a jack?
Do you play it speakerphone or something? Or
can we do speakerphone? Would that pick it up?
Okay.
All right, should I do another intro really quick about it?
That's pretty fine.
I can edit it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Make sure.
Hey guys, it's Meredith. First wanted to...
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Meredith. First wanted to say thanks for this opportunity to have me call in and ask a question. I'm kind of nervous. It's like, it's funny because I feel like I'm talking to you guys like I'm my friends, but like you're my friends, but at the same time I'm like, oh wait, I don't really know these people. But I feel like, it's fine. We're internet friends. It's cool. So I thought a lot about what I wanted to ask, and I don't know. I don't feel like it's a loaded question, but it's a lot. If you need a little backstory or information in regards to this, I sent an email a while back, kind of a little more in detail. I have been out of pretty much the only serious relationship of my adult life. It's been about 2 years now that it's ended. It's a good thing it ended, but I don't know. I just feel myself thinking about it a lot. Like, I don't know, our lives were so intertwined, and we, did everything. We grew up together pretty much, and being alone these last 2 years, I feel like I need to just, go out and rediscover me, and I don't know, I feel like I need to do something, not drastic, but just something crazy, like, I don't know, move across the country, have a different experience. I don't know, it's just, the life I live now. I mean, I go to work, I do the occasional, go out with friends and whatever, and it's fine. It's just, I don't know, it's not really fun or exciting, and I feel like, I don't know, I just need some advice on, how to find myself again. And I think there are still a lot of things left for me to learn. That whole situation taught me a lot in itself, but I don't know, what do you guys think about that? I know that's a pretty general question, but excited to hear your thoughts. Love you guys. Bye.
Aww.
Bye, Meredith.
Bye,
She's so
Meredith. Love
sweet.
you.
Love
Sweetheart.
Did that work, did you think? Did that pick it up?
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Well, what I love about Meredith is she basically answered her own question. I mean, she basically was like, I think I need to rediscover myself and try something big and new and different. And that would be my exact advice to her. We've all felt stuck like that.
Yeah, the fact that she was like, I think maybe like pick up and move across the country. I don't think any of us would have suggested that because that's a dramatic thing. But the fact that she is open to that, I'm like, man, if you don't feel like a deep connection with your current life, right, and you're willing to just mix it up and go somewhere else, then fucking do it.
Yeah, the fact that was like right there for her. Yeah, that would not have been my go-to advice either. So I was like, that's in the back of your mind, Meredith. Maybe there's an opportunity or a different state you've always wanted to live in or something, and maybe you should start looking into jobs there, or apartments there, or whatever it is that's going to kind of push that ball forward.
Yeah. Make your life exactly what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Because you can. There's no one stopping you but you and all these shoulds you have in your head. And the great thing about a huge traumatic breakup is it pushes you outside of your comfort zone. I mean, I have gotten so much done after huge traumatic breakups. And when you take the time to be alone and really sit with yourself and figure out what it is you want, I mean, incredible stuff happens. Like amazing growth that you just wouldn't have if you were in a relationship.
And I was going to say, she mentioned that her life with her ex had been so like intertwined and that they kind of had this long history together. And I don't know for sure, Meredith, if you still live in the place that you lived where you guys were together. But for me, oh my God, it's been really hard if I've gone through a breakup to stay in that same exact place or situation. I think a fresh start would help you so much to like help move forward and meet a new person.
Absolutely. And like give yourself a fucking break, because 2 years is not that long of time if you've had a very long, a long-term relationship. And that, like, it took me like 4.5 years to really be over my ex-boyfriend, like that big relationship. And if you're feeling stuck, the only thing that you can't do is just keep doing what you're doing. You have to do something different. So whether it's looking into new jobs, picking up a new hobby, moving, like any of that.
Just start looking.
Start looking. Looking leads to action. Totally. Like that small action of just a Google search, you will be amazed what kind of things happen after that. It's just that one small step. I know what I did when I went through a breakup. I was like, fuck you, I'm going to study abroad in Greece. I would have never done that if I was with my boyfriend, because I wouldn't want to leave him for that long and whatever. And I was like, bitch, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I ended up having the time of my life. I met one of my best friends, and she is the reason I do stand up. Like all this awesome shit came out of what I thought was like the worst time of my life, is like going through this awful breakup and being cheated on and just feeling like garbage. And then I go to this beautiful country, I meet wonderful people, and it leads to like one of the greatest things of my life.
Oh man.
So
I say get out there, man.
Get out there. And if you're trying to figure out I know that some people have a hard time just even figuring out what they enjoy and what they love. I think something like The Artist's Way is a good place to start. Just kind of rediscover what brings you joy, and like wipe the slate clean and slowly build upon. You got to kind of remember what brings you joy, especially if you've been in that relationship where everything was kind of intermingled. You probably just like kind of meshed in this like one identity, this one person,
Flubber.
and you really got to break away now and
and minimize, get rid of a bunch of old stuff.
The Artist's Way is such a good recommendation.
So good. Especially if you're moving across the country, minimalism would be a great thing to look into.
Thank you so much for being part of our This Is How We Live Now tier, Meredith.
Yes.
You are awesome. If you guys like we said, go check out our Patreon if you're not involved with it yet. It's awesome.
We're adding lots of new things all the time.
And please subscribe to Self-Helpless on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating and review if you haven't yet. We keep popping up on the charts, and it's a lot of it is from the help of you guys. So take a second to do it if you can. It really helps.
Best. And Meredith, keep us updated on how everything goes. I really want to know.
Please do. All right. Should we plug our socials and wrap it up?
All right.
Let's do it.
So this comes out on Monday, October 1st. You can follow me on Instagram at Kelsey Cook Comedy. Twitter's at Kelsey Cook, and my website is kelseycook.com. I'm going to be headlining the UC Santa Barbara Laughology show on Saturday the 13th. So if you're in that area, I'll be doing that. And then Delaney and I are going to be at the All Things Comedy Festival in Arizona, October, I believe, 26th and 27th. So just go to my website, check it out.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. Go ahead, Taylor.
Go to ttomcomedy.com for tour dates. I can't pull it up right now, and I don't know. And my head is full of snot.
Girl.
And then depending on the scheduling, I might be able to make it to the All Things Comedy thing, but probably not is the guess
You
I've
got a lot
already
going
booked.
on.
Don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
I know, but you want to make everything happen. And then T-Tom Comedy on Instagram and Taylor Tomlinson on Twitter.
Beautiful. And
Perfect.
DelaneyFisher.com for my shit. And at Delaney Fisher across the board on social media. And then if you want to follow Dicks by Delaney, it's at Dicks by Delaney on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and DicksByDelaney.com. If you'd like to order some coffee mugs, Dicksplosions, cock glasses, or salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah.
That's all there for you.
All right. We love you guys. We'll talk to you next
Love
week.
you.
Bye.
Bye.